Good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful yet getting cloudy Wednesday afternoon here in Pagosa Springs. Thanks for joining us today for our live stream. We have, as always, we think a great show for you this afternoon. It's a little bit of an unusual Wednesday afternoon for us in that today is actually a business after hours Wednesday. It's one that we rescheduled from February. And the hosting business is Pagosa Massage and Body Works and Rise Above Violence. They had a business after hours scheduled in February, got canceled because of a snowstorm. Then we rescheduled it and it got canceled again because of a snowstorm. So let's come out tonight and support them in this business after hours. It's at the beautiful location of Pagosa Massage and Body Works in the Country Center, and that will be happening from 5 to 7 tonight. All our chamber members, and if you're a new business that or even not a business yet, but you're thinking of opening a business, we would love to see you tonight. The cost is $8, and we will have delicious food from Pagosa Baking Company, as well as beverages. There'll be a scavenger hunt, there'll be door prizes. So it will be our usual festive business after hours this evening. 5 o'clock at Pagosa Massage and Body Works. Just head on out there tonight. I've just been really encouraged by the number of new businesses that have been coming and joining us and talking, and a lot of businesses that don't have store frontage. So if you're a business out there and you haven't been to a business after hours for a while, jump on in your car tonight and come on over to the Country Center and join us for our unscheduled business after hours this evening. Our regular business after hours will continue to take place on May 24th, and we'll certainly talk about that more in the upcoming weeks. The other thing, there are lots of activities going on, especially this weekend, and certainly our guest here today is going to be talking about that shortly. But let me just remind you of a few other events that will be coming up. On Saturday is the big Pagosa Paddle. And also over at the Springs Resorts, we do have the pints and pools and paddle, because if you get a ticket for Saturday, you will have a front row seat and beer tasting and access to the pools. You'll have a wonderful time over there. But certainly there is a lot of other alternatives. You can certainly watch the Pagosa Paddle from the Overlook area along the Riverwalk. You can see a lot of activities. They've already been setting up the gates. It's quite exciting. And the river, I understand this morning, was at a CFS of over 2,700, one of the highest that we've seen in a very long time. So we will have some excitement this weekend on the river and at the Springs Resort. Also on Saturday evening is the Second Chance Prom, and that will also be happening at the Ross Aragon Community Center. That is a fundraiser benefiting the Pagosa Community Initiative, and this is a fairly new organization that is working on youth programming as well as working on a family center here in our community. These are great needs. They have right now over 90 kids on their after school program. They're also going to be doing summer programming. And most importantly of all, for those of us or you who may have had not a great first prom, you can now create your own second prom and give yourself a second chance and go with who you really want to go with and have a wonderful time. They're going to have a DJ, they're going to have appetizers, and you get to vote for the king and queen of the prom. So it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend, and we're very excited to be helping promote this event for them. For our nonprofit agencies, we've been talking about Rural Philanthropy Days, which will happen June 7th through the 9th. And in preparation for that, there's going to be a couple of classes. One is not really affiliated with Rural Philanthropy Days, but certainly it's important for our nonprofit agencies as you get into this arena to be able to write grants. And so Ron Beckman, who is with the Pagosa Fire Protection District, he's on their board of directors, but he's also a successful grant writer, is going to be doing a free class for anybody interested in kind of how to get introduced into grant writing. It's going to be taking place on May 18th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the fire district headquarters on North Pagosa Boulevard. So you do need to sign up for that program. So you can call the Fire Protection District's phone number at 731-4191. So reach out to them if your organization is interested in finding out more about grant writing. Now, if your organization has signed up for Rural Philanthropy Days, there is some required training that will happen, and that is on, there'll be several days, but here we are going to be doing a special showing of the training as well as a Q&A session on May 25th. And so you can come to the library and you can see that video by the Community Resource Center. And then myself, Beth Lamberson, and others will be available for question and answers. So please join us on May 25th for that event. And then also for any parents or anybody else that might be interested in renewing, getting a driver's license, the Division of Motor Vehicles will be back here in Pagosa Springs with their DMV to go on May 22nd and May 23rd. Now, you just can't stop by the offices. You do need to schedule an appointment. And in order to do that, please call the county offices. You can do that by calling 264-8300. And so just schedule an appointment. If you're looking for a CDL license or something that may be more specific, that is not available, but certainly any renewals of your driver's license, permits, issuing new licenses, ID cards, things like that, that's here. So save yourself that trip to Durango and join them, the DMV, at the DMV to go on May 22nd and May 23rd. So with that in mind, let's talk about another event that is happening this weekend, and that is the annual Build Pagosa event. And with us this afternoon is the current executive director of Build Pagosa, Kris Salisbury. And Kris, I know we've had dog houses, we've had dog houses, we've had chicken coops, and now this year, I would like to call it a she shed, but I think people are calling them
our garden sheds.
Garden sheds.
Our garden sheds, and they are amazing. They're a sight to see, and the students have done a really nice job on putting them together. And we're just so grateful to our students at the high school and to our CTE teachers at the high school from continuing to support the project so that we can support them. And we're also grateful to you, Mary Jo, for having us today. You're such an asset to our community. And I was just listening to everything you had to say. And my goodness, you're a wealth of information. So,
thank you. Well, that's the purpose of this show, hopefully, is to give people some really concise and immediate information. And so what if we wanted to come in first off? Why don't you start us off by maybe someone's new to our community or to finding out what's going on. Tell us a little bit about Build Pagosa and the CTE work that's being done.
Absolutely. Before I do that, I just want to, because we've had a really sad week in our community, I just want to send our thoughts and our prayers to the family and friends of Beverly Flaming, who passed yesterday. And we're really sad that happened. So before we talk about fun events to go to this weekend, just to acknowledge that the community had a big loss and to say,
absolutely,
we're with you to all of the folks who are grieving right now.
And long time with the school district. So a hard loss for a long
hard loss.
Thank you.
For sure. And so Build Pagosa is a 6-year-old nonprofit organization that was formed in support of the career and technical education programs at the high school. with the goal of not only supporting those programs that already exist, but also growing those programs. And our really exciting big project is the development of a regional workforce center, which will be housed on school district land, but managed by Build Pagosa is the current plan. And we are fundraising for that center, and that center will hold not only CTE programs for the high school, but will also serve every person in the community by offering adult education courses, continuing education units for professionals in the field, lifelong learning courses, like perhaps you want to learn to install a toilet. Maybe we'll have a class on how to install a toilet. But basically the career and technical education programs at the high school are what our auction primarily supports. And those include everything from building trades to welding and agriculture, to automotive, business, culinary arts, and of course our health sciences. And they really target the jobs that are the most needed right now in our community, because we have such a dearth of workforce. And so we as Build Pagosa decided we needed to address that. And we not only address it by supporting programs already in existence, but by looking toward the future and thinking about how can we grow and expand the offerings for everybody in the community, from kindergarten through late career. So really something for everyone is our goal. Sure. And our event is Friday. And this event is one of our leading fundraising events throughout the year. It is our 5th annual. We had to take a break during COVID, but our 5th annual auction at 5 p.m. at the Ross Aragon Community Center. And we're going to be not only auctioning, a live auction, which is a very, very raucous and exciting, but a live auction, isn't it though? Right? Yes. Yeah. So we're going to live auction the garden sheds, or your she sheds. Although it's a kind of a small she shed, it might feel like you're in a very small space.
I don't think you can like quilt in it or anything. Yeah.
But we're encouraging people to bring their trailers with them or their trucks, because, that way you can put that shed in the back of your truck that you purchased.
There you go. All right.
There will also be a variety of silent auction items that are made by the students and by donations from the community. Many of businesses show up for this in a big way, not only by coming to the event, but also donating. And because it's a Mother's Day theme, because it is on Mother's Day weekend, we have some amazing buckets filled, what we call our surprise buckets. We don't tell you exactly what's in them, but we give you a theme. And they include everything from donations from great restaurants in town to businesses in town. I heard a rumor there might even be maybe some flights. I'm not really sure. I'm just putting it out there. There's some good stuff in those buckets.
I can never seem to, I'm always outbid. I'm going to keep trying though.
Yes. And great sponsors this year that really came out for the event. I think we're getting close to building this regional workforce center, and everybody's excited about it. So,
well, truly, what a great event. And as you mentioned, there are other aspects, and the food this year will be provided by one of those components, I understand.
Yes. So the food this year, so Todd Stevens always comes out and makes our food happen, and it's beautiful. However, the Aspen House is going to be joining us this year. The students from that program will be joining us to help serve the food. And I'm not sure if they're involved in the cooking. We'll find out later. But they're definitely coming on.
Maybe some truffles from the truffle
Maybe
company.
Some truffles.
Could be.
I don't know. It's a great question. And then the HOSA students with our Health Sciences Association at the high school, they're going to be coming out to do blood pressure and wellness checks. They also put together some great first aid kits that are going to be auctioned off at our silent auction.
Well, I'm hoping they're going to do blood pressure checks before the auction instead.
Right, I think that's a good idea.
I think everybody might have an elevated blood level pressure. So
that's right. That's
right. Because as you said, it does get very exciting. So
it does get very exciting. Absolutely.
Well, this is great. Friday evening, can we still get tickets?
Absolutely. Tickets can both be purchased at our website, which is www.buildpagosa.org. They can also be purchased at the door. And we do still have some spots available. We also have some table sponsorships. If there's a business that would like to bring several people, they can also go to our website and click the link to register for that as well.
Okay.
So we're just looking forward to an amazing event to bring the community together at the end of a hard week and see if we can raise some money for career technical education. And then we can go to the Saturday event and raise some money for kids. So, the weekend is full.
It is full. This morning we talked about it on the radio. There are so many organizations in our community that provide much needed needs in our community, and at the same time they're allowing our community to have a great time at events while helping them. So it's not hard to support one of these events and feel good about it. Know that your money is going to a great cause, no matter what it is. And it is certainly the start of what we call event season, ourselves included. So I always tell people you can be as busy or as remote as you want to be. And this weekend, you can be very busy.
Very busy. You get to come. In fact, I think we could rename our garden shed the Adventure Shed, and you could also put your paddles and your PFDs in it. So it lines up with those paddlers that are going to be out there paddling Saturday as well. Maybe you could pack a raft into it. I'm not sure.
There you go. One of our alpaca rafts. Kris, if there was something that you wanted to just remind everybody on, either about the program or this weekend's event, what would that be?
I guess my reminder would be that it really takes a village to raise this building. And the only way we're going to do it is together. It's a very large 13,000 square foot building to do our regional workforce center effectively. And we really need the entire community to get out for it and to make it happen. And the auction's just one small step in that bigger equation. We're getting some great attention from people in DC as well as from people at the state level for funding. And so I think it's right around the corner, and anyone that comes out to the auction will fill you in more, let you know what's happening.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned, it's a huge need. So much attention recently. The old word was vocational training, now career and technical development. So it's so critical, though. And that strata of the workforce is so greatly needed in our community. And so whether you have family, friends, sometimes, my pet area is those youth that have gone to school, left school, wasn't really sure what they wanted to do, but now come back. They're maybe 3 years after having graduated, and they're looking for some training, and they can't go back to high school. So this new facility would certainly meet that need.
It would. And we really hope, Mary Jo, to that point, that we can grow our own, because we realize that there is such a lack of housing for workforce. And so we can't attract workforce to come here very effectively, at least at this point. And so Build Pagosa, we want to grow our own workforce. And that means classroom to career. So bringing kids right out of high school or with a little bit of training after high school and pop them right into a career that they love and that they can earn a livable wage. Because it's expensive to live in Pagosa, right? And so we want them to be able to find a wage that works to make a life happen here.
You bet. Well, as you mentioned, lots of things going on. We kick it off this tonight with our business after hours at Pagosa Massage and Bodywork, and then go into Friday with our Build Pagosa event, and Saturday with multiple events all day long. So thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on Friday, and continued success with your fundraising. If anybody is interested to find out more about this program, please do contact them at Build Pagosa, and you can get that information on their website. Thank you for joining us today, Kris.
Thanks, Mary Jo, for having me. Great to see you.
You're welcome. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It is the start of the season, but as I mentioned, these organizations are providing just really fun events for you to get engaged with in the community, either at low cost to no cost, and just have fun and support these organizations in whatever way that you can, and we appreciate it. So thank you for joining us. There might be a little bit of rain, but we'll be inside tonight at the business after hours, so don't let that stop you. We'll see hopefully many of you tonight at 5 o'clock, Pagosa Massage and Body Works, over in the Country Center behind Papa Murphy's Pizza. We'll see you there at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, we will see you here next week, 2:30, with our live stream. And we thank Pagosa Photography for being our sponsor today. Jeff Layden is always there taking pictures of all our events, and they're fabulous. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you later. Have a great week.